Today I am going to give you some nice, strong goalie legs. Not bodybuilder legs, not powerlifter legs, goalie legs. You'll hear a lot of trainers tell you, all you need to do is get stronger. Just get in the gym, get stronger, that'll make you a better goalie. And so they'll prescribe, back squats, deadlifts as your primary lifts for getting that leg strength. They're right to some extent. You do need to be strong. You need to be very strong to be an explosive, dynamic goalie. But two things can be true at once. We can make you strong and give you the tools that you need to use those muscles the way you need to use them as a goalie.
2-on-0, Ehlers with line A, Ehlers, stopped by Mrazek.
So today I'm gonna take you through sort of a squat progression from level 1 to 10. So, okay, where can we start and where should we build up to? Place we almost always start with our squat progressions is just with a goblet squat. So the goblet term just refers to sort of how we're holding the load. You can do this with a kettlebell or a dumbbell, but we're sort of holding it like a goblet. And from there we can really teach nicely this squat pattern, sitting back in the hips, keeping nice knee alignment. I think holding the load here helps you keep your chest up a little bit more as well. So level number 1 for me would be either a bodyweight squat or a goblet squat. So a progression to level 2 would be a sumo squat. I'm doing a landmine sumo squat. You could do just a dumbbell goblet sumo squat. When we do the sumo squat, our feet are going to be about double hip width apart. My toes are pointed out just slightly, and I'm going to keep my knees out over my feet as I squat down. And it might take a couple reps to sort of find the right position from the bar, but it's kind of nice. Again, it stimulates you to keep your chest up. It kind of helps guide your pattern. It's a nice squat progression. That's our level 2. Level 3 would be a front squat. So typically we do this in the power rack, but I'm just using the bar. The key with the front squat is keeping your elbows up. So the weight, I'm not holding the weight in my wrists, I'm holding the weight on the front of my shoulders. If you just can't get that because you don't have the mobility, you can do a little cross hand technique, but still just keep those elbows up, make a nice shelf for the bar to rest on. So front squat is a level 3. We'll go back to our goblet squat position or goblet position with the dumbbell for a nice squat lateral, teaching you to stack that shoulder, hip, knee, and ankle, keeping a good back position as we start to add in some frontal plane movement. That's your level 4. Taking it up a little notch to a level 5 would be the landmine squat lateral. You can load this up a little bit more, so that's why I've made it a level 5 exercise. By now you'll have noticed that we're working in some frontal plane movements or some lateral squatting pattern. So even though we are moving laterally, it's still technically a squat pattern. It's just making you use your muscles in a little different way. And as you can see, it's like, yeah, that's kind of more closely resembles what I need to do on the ice versus just a feet side-by-side squat. I'm not saying that a feet side-by-side squat is bad. You can see there's a progression that we're going through. I'm interested to know how much frontal plane work you include in your off-ice training. Do you have any sort of favorite exercises for frontal plane? Drop them in the comments below. Also drop a comment just to let me know, are you doing any off-ice strength training right now to help you become a better goalie? And if you are, awesome, just let me know. If you aren't, I'm interested to know why. Is it too much time? You're confused, you don't know what to do, you don't see the value in doing it, you're worried that it'll inhibit your performance? Just let me know what sort of your thought process is. Not to judge, I'm just interested to know. Let's keep going with the next 5. So we're going from level 1 to 10. We've done levels 1 through 5. Let's keep on rolling. Maybe you'll see some of your favorite exercises in these next few. Level 6 is one of my hands down favorites. It's a rear foot elevated split squat. So I have my foot up here on a bolster. You don't need to have a bolster. You can do it just with your foot on a step or a bench. And then I'm getting down and I'm using that nice squat pattern. It's kind of part way to a single leg squat. Keeping my good knee alignment, bending that back knee as I go down. Level 6 is a rear foot elevated split squat. Level 7 is a reverse lunge to balance, and really I've made it a little higher on the spectrum from the rear foot elevated split squat, just because we're adding this little balance element at the top. So at the top, I'm thinking about squeezing my glutes, bracing a little with my abdominals. There's just a little bit more hip stabilization required. Level 8 is a glider squat lateral. I can use goblet position. I could hold 2 dumbbells. I could do landmine squat lateral. But all my weight is staying on this leg as this leg goes out to the side until I feel a little stretch in my adductor. So again, you can see we're progressing our way towards level 9, which is a single leg squat. We start with a single leg squat to tap, and we almost always use a squat to tap just to make sure you're getting that right depth. Have you stand out from the corner of the box so that you have to get that habit of sitting back with your hips to tap. You want to really watch the knee alignment on this front knee. Sometimes you'll see it sort of fall in. We don't really want that. Typically we'll do this with dumbbells. So dumbbell in each hand, sitting back with your hips to tap the box each time. Of course, we can make the box a little bit lower to make it more challenging. We usually don't go lower than thighs parallel. And our number 10 of the 1 to 10 squat progression. So these are just different ways we can progress our squats. It's going to be a lunge lateral up to a balance. So now we're working in that frontal plane. We're having to find that position to stack our hips, knees, and ankles. We need to keep a strong torso so we don't just collapse. You know, at the bottom, we want to get that hip hinge, getting a nice, powerful push up to our balance position. So level 10 is a lunge lateral to balance. Now, if you didn't see your favorite squat variation in this progression, it's okay. There are dozens of different types of progressions we could do. I just wanted to lay this out to you to sort of see how we can add neural complexity to the progression to make it a little bit more challenging, how we can use planes of movement to make it a little more specific to what you need on the ice. I train so many goalies who come to me saying how hard they worked in the gym last summer, you know, how they're in the gym for hours every day, how they could squat this, that, and the other thing. And then when they got on the ice, you know, I'll say, well, how did that feel? How did you feel getting on the ice? Well, you know, I think I was a little bit faster. No, when you're doing the right kind of training, it's like, you know, wow, holy smokes. It's like you put a Ferrari engine in your Toyota Tercel and it's like, oh, I need to figure out how to use this machine. You know, it's turbocharged. So that's what we're going for. There are different progressions as well. So this was a basic squat pattern progression. There are also hip hinge progressions. So don't ignore your hip hinge pattern when you're doing your off-ice training. Some of you might be wondering, hey, why didn't Maria include back squats in this progression? I explain it all in this video, why I didn't include it. If you're currently going to the gym, 3 times a week in the off season, or at least 2 times a week during the season, then this is a great place for you to start. Maybe you've already done like a goblet squat or a sumo squat, but to start, if you haven't, start at level 1, spend a couple weeks at each level progressing along. And make sure you tell me how much better you feel on the ice by the time you even get up to level 4. Even by the time you get to the end of level 2, you'll be like, okay, now I'm starting to get it. And if you aren't lifting regularly or going to the gym regularly, that's okay too. A perfect place to start is a program that I put together in the 3 Factors That Limit Your Performance Masterclass. The link is in the description. There's a couple little action steps. I show you exactly what to do, how many to do, how often to do them in there. So that is a place for you to start. And you will see results in the next couple weeks, I promise. That is it for this week. Now is the time for you to hit like. Make sure you're subscribed. If you've already subscribed, hit the bell so you know about new videos before anyone else does. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. So I will see you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel.